Hi, my name is Ray Naylor, and this is the Performing Songwriter. My guest today sings in 13 languages. She plays classical guitar, and Scott Yano of the Jazz Times, Downbeat, and All Music Guide named my guest as one of the best jazz vocalists of all time. So I'd like to introduce Phyllis Chapell. Hi, Phyllis.
Thank you so much, Ray. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
It's a pleasure.
I want to ask you, just give a little bit of history.
I started off playing folk music. People used to tell me I looked and sounded like Joan Baez. But I played a lot of Joni Mitchell and James Taylor and Paul Simon, Bonnie Raitt, that kind of thing. And in my 20s, I fell in love with Brazilian music. And I took then the circuitous route through Brazilian music to jazz. And so I got into jazz. And then, because I speak Spanish, I started doing Latin music and then French music. I do a French program. And I started playing with the Ken Ulancy Ensemble. I do a lot of parties. He's a concert band as well as a party band. And there was a lot of world music and Jewish music and jazz and popular music. And then I formed my own band called Ciora, where we do our own arrangements of jazz and some originals and world music. And I also play with a gypsy jazz ensemble called the Hot Club of Philadelphia, run by Barry Warhaftig. And I do a lot of duos, but I also play as a solo a lot too.
I wanted to ask you about the 13 languages that you sing in.
Yeah.
Is that hard to do at this point, or have you pretty much got to have it down?
Oh yeah, well they're all swimming around in my head. You know, I'm taking medication for it.
Yeah.
No, it's just you know, if I was in Europe, I think people wouldn't be that impressed. You know, but it's you kind of compartmentalize a language. You know, the way it really does inform the way that you sing. When you're singing in a different language, your voice will sound different. Mm-hmm. So it takes a little bit of concentration and focus and work.
What are I'm going to ask you what 13 languages are.
Oh, no.
See if you can remember.
Now I'm really on the spot. Let's see. There's Spanish and Portuguese, French, Italian. Then there's Hebrew and Yiddish and Russian. There's a Ukrainian. Some of the languages are just like one or two songs. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they really count. But there's Ukrainian and Ladino and Arabic and Farsi. That's from Iran. And a couple African languages, Yoruba, and then there's a Turkish song, and then Armenian, and I've lost count.
Wow.
Sorry.
You mentioned, I think, some of your influences like Joni Mitchell. Anyone else or any group that has influenced your music?
Oh my God, yes. I'm so influenced by so many different people. The jazz, all the great jazz singers, and you know, there's a lot of people from overseas that have influenced me. The Brazilians, like Elis Regina and João Gilberto, and it's a lot of Latin singers and performers, and the songs. You know, really for me, it's all about the song. Mm-hmm. So wherever that song comes from, whatever language it's in, if there's something about the song that grabs me and inspires me, then I will learn it. You know, I'll learn the language, how to express it, and I'll usually interpret it in my own way.
Now, you sing both original songs, but you also do songs that either other people have written or maybe traditional.
Yes.
So when you put together a performance, how do you do that with that type of a mix?
Well, I do as I say, I do a mix, and I always try to mix things together so that they somehow, I don't know, it's like it is. I feel like it is like an art form to create a set.
Sure, absolutely.
And so it's like I'll do an original, and I'll do like a jazz piece, and I'll do an American popular tune, and then I'll do a song from this country and that country, and I'll kind of talk about, especially the songs that are in a foreign language. I like to give people a context, a cultural context, and so I'm just taking people on a journey, and that's what I love to do.
And a little bit when you perform for us, you're going to do also.
I'll do that too. I thought that would be, more representative of what I do.
Okay, we're going to take a little break here and do our video showcase of the week, and then we're going to come back.
Sure.
And the performer, actually, she's from Philadelphia. A lot of these are people out of town. Okay. And make sure I get her name right, Carrie Hallett. And she has a group called Heart Harbor. And I think she's very good. And we're going to watch a video of Carrie and her group. And this is actually one of her music videos.
Okay.
And this song is called Hating Nothing.
Found the perfect place for you. Out of my head, I've got no space for you. Waiting for something you can't entertain, and hating something you just can't explain. Well, I'm hating nothing. Found the perfect name for you, 'cause I'm just another game to you. You started something that nobody can play. You're saving something that's long gone away. Well, I'm saving nothing. Song for you. It feels good to be so wrong for you. You're waiting for someone to make you okay, and hating someone who just couldn't stay. Well, I'm hating nothing.
Okay, that was Carrie Hallett, and that was Heart Harbor. Okay, what I wanted to talk about now is you've had some losses. Your husband passed away, and Dan Kleinman, who was in the group Ciora.
Yes, he was my partner in the group. Yes.
And I wanted just to ask you about that, how, not just how that affected you personally, but did it affect your songwriting, your performing?
Yeah, it affects, we all go through loss in our lives, and we all have to learn how to deal with it, and you have to treat the loss as kind of like, an opportunity for growth, another growth opportunity. I don't want to say the word, but yes, it's changed me. It's the loss of both of the two, my partner and my husband. I don't know, forced me to grow, really. Like with my partner, I had to become the leader of the band, and because he was the leader. And all of a sudden, I'm having to lead the group. I'm having to be the musical director. I did recruit a wonderful keyboard player arranger named Dave Pusmentier, and he helps me with that. And it was a challenge. It was a real big challenge, and the loss of my husband was very hard for me. But it's just the way life is, and now I feel like I'm in the best time of my life because I feel like I've gotten over all these different challenges, and I'm enjoying just, playing the music, enjoying the people in my life, and getting over some of the insecurities of my youth. And so it's there's always this little bittersweet quality, but there's a lot of sweetness.
Well, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I found a video on your YouTube page that you put up in 2009 of the group with Dan Kleinman playing.
Oh, really?
And so I'm going to play, it's kind of a long one, so I'm going to play a part of it.
Okay.
And the song is, make sure I get the song right. What is the song? Oh, Under Paris Skies.
Oh.
You want to say anything about that song?
Yeah, that was a very special song because it was one of the first arrangements that Dan did. And what he did with that song is he took this old Edith Piaf French accordion tune, and he mixed in a little bit of Bela Bartok, and then he put it on top of an Afro-Cuban bembe. So it was like this wild and crazy arrangement of this old standard, this traditional song. And so he gave it this very, very unique stamp that that we call Ciora.
Okay.
So it's that'll bring back a lot of memories.
Okay.
I still do that song.
So let's take a look at Sierra in around 2009, and this is called Under Paris Skies.
Sur de Paris s'en va une chanson. Elle est née d'aujourd'hui dans le cœur des garçons. Sous les cieux de Paris marchent les amoureux. Le bonheur se construit sur un effet poreux. Sous les ponts de philosophe assis, six musiciens, quelques badauds, puis les gens familiers. Sous les cieux de Paris, jusque soir vont chanter. Né d'un peuple pris de sa vieille cité, près de Notre-Dame, à quoi Batame, oui mais à Paname, tout peut se ranger. Quelques rayons du ciel d'été, l'accordéon, un marinier, l'espoir fleurit au ciel de Paris.
we're getting ready to hear some of your music. And while you're getting ready, we're going to watch actually a slideshow of my next guest, who is Tracy Coletto. And I met her not too long ago, and she's really good. Her music is like maybe pop or adult alternative. She plays keyboards, and she recently came out with a CD. I guess it was last year, which I think is fantastic. And underneath the slideshow here is one of her songs, probably my favorite of her songs that I've heard so far, and it's called "Stay." And the title of the whole album, I might as well mention that, is Chocolate Happy Cake.
Oh, it's my favorite thing.
Me too. So here's Tracy Coletto, and the song is called Stay, and we'll be back and hear some music.
Despite myself, there's always something I can offer you. Although I try, there's always something I regret. 1,000 times I may have brought you grief or made you weep. 1,000 times I may have made you laugh instead. Stay with me, stay, don't you ever leave me anymore. Stay with me, stay, we'll be friends, we'll be friends forevermore. We all wake up and wonder where our lives are headed to. But it's alright, there's always someone who adores you. Stay with me, stay, don't you ever leave me anymore. Stay with me, stay, we'll be friends forevermore. Stay with me, stay, don't you ever leave me anymore. Stay with me, stay, we'll be friends forevermore.
I like to think of myself as a singer-songwriter with a twist, that twist being a little bit of jazz, a little bit of popular music, songs in many different languages. But I do write, so I'm going to start off with one of my originals. We can rise above it all, though eventually we fall. Don't know how much time we have to spend. Just got this moment, 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 this moment. You know the story about a man with no shoes, run around singing the blues, till he finally found the truth on the street. He saw a man who didn't have no feet, often used to lament and sigh about all my troubles. I weep and cry. Now every moment I realize I'm just so lucky to be alive. We can rise above it all, though eventually we fall. Don't know how much time we have to spend. Just got this moment, 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 this moment. Somebody. What's to become of our romance? We get together when we get the chance. Meters running and it drives me mad, but I wouldn't trade a moment of what we've had. I wish I really knew where it all ends. Are we reborn? All our sins cleansed, or just absorbed into the universe? Being human, such a blessing and a curse. We can rise above it all, though eventually we fall. Don't know how much time we have to spend. Just got this moment, 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 this moment. Shabari. I took a cruise across the sea. A hurricane washed over me. I see it as a second chance to change the rhythm in my dance. I guess this calls my 911. My waking life has just begun. I see the world through different eyes. Will I bewilder or be wise? We can rise above it all, though eventually we fall. Don't know how much time we have to spend. Just got this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, this moment. Ah, this moment, this moment. Well, I'd like to do a song from the Middle East, specifically from Israel, taken from the book of Deuteronomy, where the children of Israel are wandering in the desert and they're just struggling to survive. They ask for divine intervention, and he made them to suck honey from the rocks. Well, thank you very much. It's not exactly what I had in mind. But finally, when you get to that honey, it tastes really sweet. So in the middle of this song, I'm going to do a prayer in Hebrew and in Arabic that says, how good it will be when all people can live together in harmony. It's an elusive concept, but we can only hope. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת כולנו גם יחדיו. מה אחלה אליקווה סוואה, שוב תליקווה למחה בסוואה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת כולנו גם יחדיו. מה אחלה אליקווה סוואה, שוב תליקווה למחבה סוואה. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, Vaynikehu, dash me sela. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. Bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, bishemein de kalmetzu, zug, zug. Vaynikehu, Vaynikehu, dash me sela, sela. I'd like to do another original with all the difficult, painful, even terrible things that happen to us in our lives. It's always good to keep in mind that overriding wonder of it all, that this life and existence that we're engaged in, all of us, is nothing less than a miracle. Mesmerizing, mystifying, marvelosity extreme. Sunlit, soaring, sanctifying, serendipitous seems. Everything's a miracle, everything I see. Life's a gift that we all receive. Migrating nomads, winged creatures of the air. Birds, you can fly thousands of miles. How do you know where? Teach me your secrets, where do they come from? Do you feel it in your wingtips? Do you hear a distant drum? Mesmerizing, mystifying, marvelosity extreme. Sunlit, soaring, sanctifying, serendipitous seems. Everything's a miracle, everything I see. Life's a gift that we've all received. Some hear a song, think it's a love song. Some will think it's a prayer. Some see the face of God on a cloud. What do you see there? Maybe things just happen not for reasons we can say. It's what we make of things that happen that make us what we are today. I need something to believe in, to give me hope and comfort too. Would be nice if what I believed in also happened to be true. I believe in gyrating, jubilating, joyous jewels of light, lilting luminescence, illuminating all in sight. Tantalizing, twirling, teeming, make my heart feel whole. Winding winds and waving wonders fill my very soul. I need something to believe in. We all need something for sure, to give our lives a meaning that will long, long mesmerize and mystify them of velocity extreme. Sonnet soaring, sanctifying, serendipitous scenes. Everything's a miracle, everything I see. Life's a gift that we've all received. Mesmerize and mystify them of velocity extreme. Sonnet soaring, sanctifying, serendipitous scenes. Everything's a miracle, everything I see. Life's a gift, and that is what I believe. Well, I'm celebrating my new CD called Naked World, and it was produced by Emmy Award-winning composer, arranger, producer Rodney Wittenberg. It's being played in lots of cities all throughout the United States and Canada, and I've even submitted it for a Grammy nomination, so I'm very excited about the CD. I'm going to play you the first song. My love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you. Are the stars out tonight? I don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only have eyes for you, dear. Oh, the moon may be high, but I can't see the thing in the sky. I only have eyes for you. I don't know if we're in a garden or on a crowded avenue. You are here, and so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I've only have eyes for you. Ba-da-dee-ba-dee. So-do-dee-da-bee-da-do-dee-da-dee. Ba-da-dee-da-bee-da-dee. Bum-ba-ba-da. Ba-da-dee-da. Ba-da-dee-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dee. Ba-da-dee-ba-da. You are here, and so am I. Maybe millions of people go by, but they all disappear from view. And I've only have I've only done for you. Oh, these eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another one like I you, baby. And you're much too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. You're much too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Only have eyes for you. Oh, baby, baby. Only have eyes for you. Oh, baby, baby, for you.
That makes the world go round and round. Picks you back up when you are down. You know it's true, you feel the power. That makes the world go round and round. I know you've had a bad day or two. Nothing goes right, it's the same old view. Hold on a minute, and soon you will see. It's not too late for you and me. Love makes the world go round and round. Picks you back up when you are down. You know it's true, you feel the power. Love makes the world go round and round.
Phyllis, I have to say, you're the definition of a professional performer, songwriter,
Well, thank you so much.
musician.
Thank you.
If people want to buy your recordings, which you have quite a number of them,
Yes.
And also see where you might be playing,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Go to my website, www.phyllischapell.com. PhyllisChapell.com.
Okay. Phyllis Chapell, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you doing these videos, and I think you told me that I was number 50.
Your number it's a 50th show.
Yay!
That's a good milestone to
Yeah,
have you here.
yeah. Thank you, Bray.
Okay, and we'll be back in about 2 weeks.